Hi everyone, and welcome back to the next diecast. For today's video, I'll be showing you and reviewing this 1/18 scale 2014 Corvette Stingray made by Maisto. So this model came out in late 2013 when the real 2014 Corvette Stingray came out. This one, my parents actually found at Sam's Club for me in that same year, and I got it for Christmas of that year. This model was done in the Night Race Blue metallic paint with the Kalahari interior, both of which were real color schemes on the actual 2014 Corvette Stingray. This paint color, I think, was offered until 2016. Maisto still makes the Corvette Stingray today in 1/18 scale. You can also get it in the Z51 version, which is pretty much the same thing as this, only different different wheels, maybe a couple different like exterior details, but they're pretty much the same model. So this review could kind of be considered for both. So I'd say this is a good model overall for being a budget model of the 2014 Corvette. It does have a few flaws here and there, which I'll get into throughout the review. So you can also find this online for around $25 to $40, depending on where you get it from. Amazon has many different listings of it in all different colors. So that's probably your best bet to look for if you don't belong to a wholesale club like Sam's Club. Let's go ahead and get into the detail here. Up front, Maisto did a really good job with these headlights, I would say. They have a nice kind of like LED pattern going down the side there and also in the front there. There's actually no pegs in these at all. A lot of times Maisto have a peg or two to kind of hold the light bulb in place, but on this one, you don't see that. It kind of looks like the lights are turned on too, especially from a distance. That's a really cool touch, I would say. There's no like big gap between the plastic of the light and the metalwork, which is also a nice touch that you don't always often see on Maisto models. This Corvette badge in the center here looks great. Unlike the 2005 Corvette they made, it's not a sticker, so that's a nice touch as well. The lower grille down here does look a slight bit cheap. It has kind of a textured mesh to it, but it doesn't really, it isn't like perforated or anything. But from a distance, it's kind of hard to tell. The overall shape of the car is done very, very well. The front bumper even has like that kind of like crease in it, which looks great. And the paint quality Maisto has on this model, I would say, is flawless. They really did a good job with that Night Race blue color. In certain lights, it looks like gray and black and stuff. It just looks great. The vents on here are well done as well. It's like kind of a perforated vent a little bit. It's kind of hard to see until you open the hood. You can kind of see through right there a little bit. It's very hard to see. There's some light going through there. Now that the hood's open, we'll take a look at the engine kind of going out of order here, but not the best engine I've ever seen on a Maisto model. It's just kind of one like flat plastic piece. It does say Corvette on either side, but it's just, there's no coloring aside from that. I think they were kind of in a hurry to get this out into production, so some details were skipped upon, which I don't think is a very good thing. They did actually etch a Corvette symbol into the metalwork of the hood, though, which is a nice touch. But there's some underspray, which kind of takes away from that a little bit. You can probably detail the engine yourself with like marker and stuff, but I just haven't done that. So I think they probably could have done a better job with the engine there. Okay, so the wheels, since I'm near the wheels now. Maisto did a good job with these wheels overall. The shape might be a little bit off to the real car, but I think these rims look great on the Night Race blue paint color. There are red calipers, and you can see the disc brake as well. They don't move with the wheels, of course, as is the case of most of these models by Maisto. But there is a Corvette symbol in the center of the wheel, which looks great, and it does say Corvette on the caliper there. Painted on turn signals, as you can see on both ends here. Not the best looking thing in the world, but they'd be kind of hard to replicate anyway, because they're very kind of small and thin. So that's fine. Mirrors are very sturdy, as you can see here. They're never going to come off or fall off. Side vents look great. They did a good job with those. It kind of has like that zigzag shape to it, which looks cool. You also have a little Stingray badge on either side of the car, which also look great. There's some grills back here. They're done in separate pieces. They're not loose or anything, so that's a nice touch. Detail on the back, I would say, is well done. This lower portion here is actually plastic, but you really can't tell because it looks like it's metal, because it has the same kind of like metallic sparkle as the metal portions of the car. So they did a good job with hiding that, I would say. Exhaust pipes look pretty cheap at best. If they had at least painted the insides black, would have looked a little bit more convincing, but the way they have them now, they don't really look that great. The taillights, on the other hand, look well done. They have a nice texture to them. There's no pegs to be seen. And again, like the headlights, the gap in the metalwork is not really that present, which is nice to see. You have your Corvette inscription back here, and that badge too. I think this badge is the same size as that front badge here, so that's a cool feature. Kind of have like the same size badge. Of course, we do have full suspension, which is very good on this particular model, and full steering. Kind of clicky and creaky, but that's what you get for most of these Maisto steering systems. Anyway, already showed the engine, so we'll go ahead and look at the trunk back here. It's kind of hard to open. You got to kind of get your fingernail in there to get it to open. Sometimes I got to go through the interior to pop it open. So we'll just, there we go. Not too much, just aside from dust. There we go. Not too much to see back here. It's not carpeted or anything, of course. It does have a nice, like, rough texture to it. And they actually did put, like, the latches in here, which is where the removable roof would go. It'd be nice if Maisto actually included that on this model, but it's not on there. But the real Stingray Corvette, the roof panel could come off and you could store it back here in the trunk. So that's a nice touch. Kind of a big gap in this trunk lid a little bit, but it's kind of hard to tell with the darker paint. If it was brighter, you'd definitely see it, but this is a darker paint job, so it's not really that visible or prevalent. Interior detail, I would say, is very well done. You can already see the leather pattern that's on both the door panel and the dashboard. Maisto did a really good job with that because that's the real pattern that would be on the real car as well. They did a nice job with painting the door panel. There's some beige detailing here and a little bit of silver there. There should be a door handle somewhere. Either it's that there or that there. But overall, they did a great job with it. Same thing on that door panel too. The seats, I would say, are well done overall. They have the right shape to them, and they have a nice kind of like leather texture to them. They might be a bit too thin in the back here, but if you look at them from the front, you really can't tell. I love the way the seats look from the front. Kind of like a racing seat looking thing, which looks great. They don't, move or fold or anything like older Maistos would. There are seat belts, though, which are not really that visible, but they do have them there. There's even like a little buckle on there, too. So that's a nice touch there. And the seatbelt receivers, I guess they're called, they're done in red. Dashboard detailing looks excellent. They did the silver outlines of the air vents, even the buttons and like the switches that you can close the vents with and like adjust them with. They did a great job with those. There's that nice kind of leather pattern on the dashboard as well, which looks great. Take a look at this side. You can see the center stack better because Chevrolet, when they designed the C7 Corvette, they angled all the controls toward the driver. And we're going to see the same thing on the C8 Corvette, which just came out for 2020. The controls for that are also angled towards the driver. So they did a nice job overall with detailing the center stack here, if I can get that focused. All the buttons are painted on, as you can see. They're all done in silver, and the GPS screen is turned on. The little rotary switch there, that's painted in silver. So they did a nice job with that. The steering wheel has the same kind of leather pattern that the rest of the car has. It even has the Corvette logo in the center, which looks great. There's the working steering for you there. And the pedals are also done in silver. They kind of look like they're made of brushed aluminum, which on the real car they would be. So Maisto did a great job with that as well. There's a little bit of a better focus in there. They even did like the little controls on the side of the steering wheel over here. And the silver detailing on the gauge cluster looks great too. That would be like metal, I think, on the real car. The Corvette just looks great from any angle, especially from like the back like this. Very, very cool. Maisto doesn't make the Night Race blue metallic color anymore. I think now it just comes in bright red, bright blue, white, and I think yellow or something. But you can probably still find the Night Race blue version on Amazon or eBay. Undercarriage, not really too much to see. They have some exhaust poking in through there and back here, but that's really pretty much it for that. They always do chrome exhaust, so that's not really a big deal for that detail. Overall, this is a great model, I would say, of the 2014 Corvette. Some details are missed, like the engine detailing and whatnot, but for the Sam's Club price I got of that, that's not really a big deal at all, and you can probably detail it yourself too. But the interior looks great, and Maisto really nailed like the paint color and the rims, I would say. So I think they kind of like make up for the lack of engine detail overall. All right, that pretty much sums it up for this review. As always, thank you so much for watching, and be sure to like the video and comment down below and subscribe. And also be sure to follow my social media, Nick's Diecast page on Instagram. Thanks for watching.